Hello and welcome to another exciting session. So tell me, have you ever traveled to the place of your dreams? Well, if you haven't, then you should without any delay, because that is something which will change your life for sure. And that is also the theme of discussion for our session today in the poem, When I Set Out for Lyonnesse. Now, before I tell you more about the poem, let me tell you something about the poet. Thomas Hardy was born in England on the 2nd of June, 1840. When he was 22, he left for London, where he was influenced by the works of other writers of his time. Admirably, he tried his hand at writing when he was 17. His first novel manuscript, The Poor Man and the Lady, was rejected by several publishers. But a second story, Desperate Remedies, was accepted and published. Following which Hardy wrote a number of short stories, poems and plays for the rest of his life. He was quite prolific during this period, writing around 900 poems on a variety of subjects. Besides being a writer, he was also an architect. As a young apprentice architect, he had once visited a parish to supervise the restoration of a church. On his return from the parish, people noticed two things about him: a new glow in his eyes and a crumpled piece of paper sticking out of his coat pocket. According to one of his biographies, that paper contained the draft of a poem. And guess what? We shall be reading that very poem inspired by a visit to a place which the poet calls as Lyonnesse. Let us recite that poem once and see what we understand. When I Set Out for Lyonnesse by Thomas Hardy. When I set out for Lyonnesse, 100 miles away, the rime was on the spray, and starlight lit my lonesomeness. When I set out for Lyonnesse, 100 miles away. What would be chance at Lyonnesse, while I should sojourn there? No prophet durst declare, nor did the wisest wizard guess. What would be chance at Lyonnesse, while I should sojourn there? So what are your thoughts after reading that? It is a great read, isn't it? Now we can see that the poet is a young architect who went to Lyonnesse to supervise the renovation work of a dilapidated church. Also, it was about 100 miles away. Apart from that, it was winter season and snowfall was at its peak. He was in a solitary state where the night sky helped him during his journey. He then becomes conscious about what would happen at Lyonnesse when he would stay there. According to him, no prophet can declare this, and even a wizard would not be able to say what would happen at Lyonnesse. When I set out for Lyonnesse, 100 miles away, the rime was on the spray, and starlight lit my lonesomeness. When I set out for Lyonnesse, 100 miles away. Now, Lyonnesse is a mythical place which has been referred to in the legend of King Arthur. But in this stanza, we can see that the poet has chosen to use this setting that refers to an actual place that imparts an air of magic and mysticism. So as we can see, the poet has set out for Lyonnesse, which was situated 100 miles away. It was winter and the weather was cold. The shine in the night sky helped him when he was lonely. He had no idea what would happen during his stay at Lyonnesse. Now, let's read the next stanza and understand the lines. What would be chance at Lyonnesse, while I should sojourn there? No prophet durst declare, nor did the wisest wizard guess. What would be chance at Lyonnesse, while I should sojourn there? So as you can see, in this stanza, the poet expresses his unsurety about what would happen at Lyonnesse. He says that he doesn't know what awaits him at Lyonnesse. The poet says that even a prophet or the wisest wizard would fail to predict the experience accurately and vividly. On this note, I have come to the end of this video, but I will surely see you soon, as I have many more beautiful poems lined for you in the upcoming sessions. Till then, bye-bye. TutorMate. For more amazing video lectures, Download the free app on the Apple App Store or Google Play Store